This summer, I went to the Steve-O Bucketlist tour, and whilst I was there, something crazy happened. So crazy that I ended up being in his special, and then also meeting him and having a conversation with him after the show. So how did this all happen? Let me explain. For those of you who don't know, here's a little photo here of what I looked like during that moment. Yeah, not my proudest moment. So I got to the venue where it was held, I went with my friend and his girlfriend. He was sat a row in front of me and I was sat a row behind him because we couldn't get tickets all together. So we sat down and the show starts. First of all, I just want to say the show was absolutely amazing. To anyone who didn't go, you really missed out. It was such a good show. But if you guys have watched the special, I'm sure you already know how good it is. So this theatre was like extremely warm. It was very warm in there. So all these videos start playing, I'm having a good time, I'm laughing, I'm really enjoying myself. And then all of a sudden, this one section comes on. It was the BMX anesthesia scene. Now, I have like a massive weird phobia type thing when it comes to like needles and veins and going in arms and stuff. So I was a bit like, ooh. Oh, seeing that made me feel a bit uneasy. So I was like, oh, okay, that's fine, no big problem. Now, before this, he'd already said, oh, like, if you guys are known to pass out, he's like, just watch yourselves on these next few ones, because there was that one and then a different one with the spine. So I'm watching this, and I start to feel, like, weird in my arm, and I'm like, I feel a bit oozy just from watching it, but I'm like, do you know what? I'm just a pussy, I guess. I'm just a pussy. So I started to feel a bit weird. I've also felt really warm throughout the show, like it was very warm in there. But I start to feel it go to my head a bit and I'm like, oh, well, that's not good. But the more I'm focusing on not thinking about it or like not feeling like oozy and weird, the more I feel that way and I'm like, well, this just isn't great. So I take some sip of my water that I've got with me. I'm just trying to drink that, take my mind off it and enjoying the show, you know, watching what's happening. At this point, I start to feel really bad. So I'm like, oh no, what is happening? What is happening? So I pull my phone out to the side of me, just like briefly, just literally to look at my screen, just to see if there's something that I can distract myself with to like make my mind reset almost. So I put it out just to the side, just so I could see like the time or like a notification, just to snap my mind out of it. I looked at the screen and it was all blurry. And at this point I knew like, it wasn't looking good. It was not looking good. So now I'm like, okay, this is bad. I start slouching, just trying to get a bit more comfortable, so I sort of relax a little bit more, see if I can. It's just not working. It's just not working. So at this point, I fall forward in my seat. I am now in between like the aisles. I am in between the aisles. The next thing I know, like I must have been leaning against someone's like leg or something, because the next thing I know, I was just like on the side and they weren't there, and I was just on the floor, and I was like, has what I think just happened? And yeah, it had. So at this point, I'm just on the floor. I'm sort of like really confused. I'm like, what is happening? Like, why am I on the floor? Some woman came down. She was really nice. I think she was a nurse or something. She just put my head on her lap and she was like, hey, like I'm a nurse. Like you've just passed out. Like you're gonna be absolutely fine. You know, she was just like, do you want to go outside? She asked me if I wanted to leave the venue and go and get some air. And I just went, no, I want to watch the show. Like even after I passed out, I still wanted to be there. I still wanted to be watching the show. I wanted to carry on. I didn't care. I was like, I'm gonna power through it. I don't care. Like at this point I felt like awful, but I was like, I'm gonna power through it. I'm here. I want to watch this. I'm really intrigued. So obviously I didn't know this at the time until after, but there was a cameraman literally filming me on the floor the entire time. I didn't even know about this until after. I was like, there is no way, which is absolutely hilarious when you think about it. And I completely understand, you got to get that content. Like you saw an opportunity, a guy on the floor passed out, you say, oh, absolutely record him. I fully understand it, and I think that's hilarious. The camera guy even said to me after, because he saw me after the show, which I'll explain to in a minute, but he even said to me, he was like, I felt so bad like recording you. I felt so awkward just recording you while you were on the floor. I was like, oh, don't even worry about it. I was like, absolutely fine. I was like, get the content. I completely understand it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's funny. As a content creator myself, I understand. If you've got an opportunity to get a good shot, you go and get the shot. Like, it is what it is. Point. So I stand back up, I go back to my seat, I sit down, everyone's like, oh, are you okay? Are you okay? My friend in the front row just turns around and he is laughing at me. He is just laughing at me. He's like, how have you managed that? What the fuck? So yeah, he was just completely laughing at me. It was really funny. And Steve was just like, yo, dude, he's like, can I use the footage? And I was like, yeah, go for it, man. Go for it. Absolutely. I don't care. Like, go for it. Use the footage. Do you know what I mean? I have at it. Like, yeah, not my proudest moment on camera, released publicly to millions, but you know, at the end of the day, it's funny. It is what it is. And do you know what I mean? I hope it made some of you guys laugh, or some of you guys just be like, what is this guy doing? And so I hope it got some positive reactions from people. I know there's a few people who are going to be like, you're an absolute bitch, dude. Like, you're an absolute pussy. Yeah, all right, okay. That's absolutely fine. Like, I'm completely expecting that, and maybe I am. But it's nice to know that I wasn't the only one that passed out at the show. So I sit back down,
watched the rest of the show. The show was absolutely amazing, really enjoyed myself. Show ends, and we go out, and we go around the back, and we see Steve-O's tour bus, or like the tour bus that he was in at the moment. It didn't have like his logos and stuff on the side, or at least from the side I was on, it didn't have it. Maybe it had it on the other side, I'm not too sure. But either way, we saw the tour bus, and we were like, oh, let's all wait here, like, you know, we might be able to see him after the show. So eventually he comes out, and he's taking photos with everyone, he's talking to everyone, signing stuff, things like that. And eventually it's my turn. So I go over, I get the photo with him, and just before I leave, I go, yeah, sorry for passing out at your show, dude. And he's like, oh my god, he's like, was that you? I was like, yeah. And everyone around was just laughing. And he was like, dude, he was like, I'm so glad that you did, because obviously it makes good promotion. Do you know what I mean? Like, someone passed out at your show, the content you're showing makes people pass out, stuff like that. It's a good selling point, so you gotta respect it, absolutely. Like, I'd be using it if I was in a position, I'd be the exact same. I'd be like, dude, I'm glad you passed out. Like, you've given me some great content here. But yeah, no, he was super nice to me, super friendly. He was like, thank you so much for like letting me use like the footage and stuff. We were talking for like a good solid like 5 minutes or so, just having a chat. And he was like, yeah, thank you so much for letting me use it. He was like, you've been a great sport. But yeah, it was a lovely interaction. And then obviously his team had to like email me, so I had to sign like things to say that like, yes, the footage can fully be used, because obviously you need consent and things like that. So I gave them the full consent, and they sent me the footage and said that I could use it if I want to. So I forgot to mention, a woman in front of me gave me a fan that I could use for while I was like, after I passed out, just so I could cool myself down. I don't know who you are or anything, but thank you so much. You're an absolute legend for that. Like, I really appreciate that. That helped me a lot. Thank you so much. But yeah, that was sort of my experience with passing out at a Steve-O show. That's how I ended up in his Bucketlist tour special. That's how I ended up meeting him and having a conversation with him, and it was just a great experience all around. Mine is me passing out, not my greatest moment. That's forever on the internet, but it's funny. And honestly, I had never passed out before. Like, that was the first time I'd ever actually passed out. Like, I felt faint before and stuff, but I've never fully passed out. So if you guys haven't seen the special yet, go and watch it. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if this became a meme on the internet for like a solid week or so. Like, it genuinely wouldn't surprise me if I just become a meme at this point. Maybe I am a meme, maybe I'm a living meme, or maybe I'm just a fucking idiot. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe, see more content from me, leave a like on this video. I hope you enjoyed hearing my part of the story and got a good laugh out of it. And I'll see you all when I see you. Peace.